Hey guys, and welcome to Russian Plus. You know, in some of my previous videos I mentioned that the average salary in Russia is very low, which is true. But recently I came across this report published by Finexpertise, a research company, and I thought I'd share it with you. And it's about the best paying industries in Russia. You know, we have this Russian author, Nekrasov, who once published a book called «Кому на Руси жить хорошо?» Who lives well in Russia? So in this video we're going to find out. And let's start with number 10. The 10th best paying industry in Russia is advertising and marketing. You know, in the USSR, you didn't really need marketing because there was a deficit of everything. Whatever was manufactured was selling like hot cakes. Today, however, with so much competition, you gotta market your products, otherwise you wouldn't be able to sell anything. And the average salary in marketing in Russia is $1,108 a month. But salaries vary depending on the region, and in Moscow, the average is $1,600 a month. The 9th highest paying industry in Russia is metal ore mining, $1,162 on the average. But the best paying mining jobs are somehow in Moscow. But there's no mining in Moscow, you're going to ask me? Of course not. But in Moscow, you have the headquarters of the companies. And the second best paying mining jobs are in the city of Krasnoyarsk. You can expect to make $1,680 a month on the average. Alright, number 8. R&D, which stands for Research and Development, and it can relate to fundamental science or innovative activities undertaken by corporations. R&D guys are great because they're making our lives simpler. And on the average, they get paid $1,176. And the best paying R&D jobs are in Tyumen, $1,630 a month on the average. Industry number 7, fishing and fish farming. On the average, it pays $1,321 a month. But you find the best paying jobs in fishing in Magadan and Murmansk, around $2,400 a month. That's pretty good. Number 6. Tobacco industry. According to the report, people working in this industry make $1,533 on the average. But the best paying jobs in tobacco industry are in Moscow, $4,400 a month. Now we're talking. How come? That's because Russia is the 9th country in the world when it comes to cigarette consumption per person, 2,295 cigarettes a year. So there's definitely market for that. Alright, number 5. Finance and insurance. A few years ago, Russian finance industry was hit by the sanctions. And now, the job requirements became even tougher. How much do they make? $1,561 a month. And the best paying jobs in finance are not surprisingly in Moscow. They make on the average $2,786. Gotta diversify your bonds, brother. Number 4. Software development. It's one of the fastest growing sectors of Russia's economy. And the same thing is happening worldwide. And experts predict that in 10 years, Russia will face a shortage of 2 million IT guys. I think it's a great career because you can work in Russia and outside of Russia. To give you an example, my sister and her husband are spending this winter in Thailand because they can work remotely. How much do software developers make in Russia? $1,617 a month on the average. But the best paying jobs in software development are somehow in Yamal-Nenetsk region in Siberia. Well, that's unexpected. $2,569 a month, and it's followed by Moscow, $2,186 a month. The third best paying industry in Russia is aviation. On the average, they make $1,686, and the best paying aviation jobs are in Chukotka, $3,160 a month, followed by Moscow, $2,160 a month. And a pilot in command can make $4,200 a month. So that's another lucrative career for you. Coming to number 2. That is consulting and management consulting. I'm not surprised. KPMG Consulting, Boston Group Consulting, McKinsey, and all these other companies. These guys are extremely smart and they should be rewarded for their expertise. The average for the industry is $1,956. And finally, coming to number 1. You probably have guessed it already, we're in Russia, oil and gas industry. With an industry average of $2,026 a month, it's the best paying industry in Russia. But let me tell you what, best paying oil and gas jobs are not in the cold Siberia, but in the company's headquarters in Moscow. On the average, oil and gas jobs in Moscow pay $9,000 a month. That is $107,000 per year. Now that's good money. Oil and gas jobs in Moscow are followed by Sakhalin, where they make $5,933 a month, and then St. Petersburg, $5,560 a month, and then Bashkortostan, $3,420 a month. So there you have it. The highest paying jobs in Russia are in Moscow in the oil and gas industry. Those were the industries, but there are a lot of individual professions that pay a lot of money in Russia also. Like a sea captain will make $6,600 a month. A surgeon on the average will make $5,100 a month. A judge, $4,100 a month. A dentist, $2,600 a month. Also, it pays to be in politics, and the average monthly salary of a member of State Duma is about $6,260. And on top of that, you get a paid vacation of 42 days and a car with a driver. And then, of course, you got show business and athletes who can have multi-million-dollar contracts for kicking a ball on the field. You know, a lot of people would mention that life in Russia is cheaper, right? Yes, according to Numbeo, consumer prices in Russia, including rent, are 56% lower than in the US, which means that $1,000 in Russia is like $2,100 in the US. But it's only true for certain things, and a lot of things in the world cost the same no matter where you are, like cars, which are actually more expensive in Russia. Clothes and phones and software, they charge you the same no matter where you come from. And if you go on vacation, you pay the same no matter where you came from, right? But services are a lot cheaper in Russia. That's true. Say a visit to a doctor at a private clinic will cost you just $15 to $20 in Yekaterinburg, and probably a lot cheaper in smaller towns. All right, thanks for watching this video, guys. Now, if you don't mind, tell me what line of business, what line of work you're in, and we can discuss that in the comments. All right, see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.